Okay, I will start with my thesis defense. It's about the simulation of visitor flows management in the Slovenian coastal zone using the technology of the urban digital twin. First, I start with understanding the problems of the coastal areas in general, and especially how the pressure of recreation, conservation in these areas is producing overcrowding flows. We know that several destinations are suffering for rapid increasing number of visitors, and the tourism industry is creating a negative consequences in this space. So therefore, it is necessary to establish innovative types of data analysis of visitor flows and tourist spatial dynamics. So I focus in the Slovenian coastal area, especially because this area has a coastal limited dimensions, but is experiencing additionally great economic, cultural, and ecological potential. So this is creating pressure on the coast area. Additionally, the tourist development sprawls outside the city center areas create needs for new infrastructure beyond the carrying capacity of the coast and the road network. So new interventions in this space must be careful planned and justified because they will influence in the future situation of the coastal area. So the main objective is understands about visitor flows and the complex system about mobility of tourists and the capacity of the infrastructure, establish theoretical and simulation approach about visitor behavior patterns, or represents the dynamic characteristics of digital twins, describes and defines a simulation models of road traffic and pedestrian flows on specific zones of the coastline of Slovenia, and finally verify the implementation of this new urban digital technology in the field of spatial planning. The methodology was with first understanding the main concepts of city information modeling and urban digital twin, concerning of the use of modeling simulations for planning and predictions of urban scenarios, explains the importance of analysis of crowd flows and the human behavior determining pedestrian and road traffic, a spatial configuration analysis of coastal zones about over tourism and mobility, and specific areas of studies determining in this Slovenian coastal zone, where topics such as infrastructure, tourism, and visitor flows. And finally, simulations are placed in different scenarios using the software AnyLogic to demonstrate the use of simulation as one type of tool technology for the urban digital twin application. So making a big view about the city information modeling is really important to understand that it's a process and computational based knowledge that involves systems data, attributes, and parameter association of city system, facilitates the visualization, the analysis, the monitoring, and simulation of the urban environment, and is considered a multidisciplinary unification of all spatial data models in conceptual terms, collaborative work, and interoperability. So city information modeling incorporates GIS with BIM and urban digital twin. In this case of the thesis, we're focusing in the resource of simulations and how the simulation is a resource that helps to recreate a build smart cities with an accurate digital representation in real time. Additionally, this tool generates a complete model of information about city performance of public services and infrastructure, allowing taking more efficient decisions for spatial development. So about the digital twin, we have advantages like increased operational efficiency, resource optimization, improved decision-making, cost savings, and real-time monitoring. The challenges that still digital twin are experiencing is the data accuracy and quality, the interoperability, open standards, visualization integration, representation of large sites model, and citizens' privacy and data security issues. It is important to focus that in the case of cities are not automated systems that can be easily understood and predicted. So that's why we use models that are simplifications of the real system represented. That means the model does not search to replicate the original system in the same detail as the main system. Nevertheless, the existing model representations are close to the real system, which is the main definition and purpose of the digital twin, to be a complete mirror image of the real system represented. So the crucial point of the digital twin characteristics is the data running in real time, which is equal to the whole system. For the urban digital twin, the spatial data allows micro, medium, and macro relationships necessary to be established, aggregate, analyzed, and simulate. In the case, the combination with the geographical information system provides the context of several digital physical representations to evaluate all the physical assets in the city. And that's so useful because the combination between space and time is part of the digital twin system approach established to synchronize the urban environment. So the city digital twin combines the technology and the operations. In this case, we are focusing how can we respond for the city planning.
Ouais, tu m'as dit quelque chose, gentil?
Now, why use simulations for planning and prediction? Because simulation models can replicate scenarios for planning and decision support. Simulations are useful resources with a risk-free and low cost. Simulations allow for the recreation of virtual environments where it's possible to test different scenarios in short or long-term times. And for instance, simulations of crowd situations in specific spaces allow ensuring different aspects such as safety, comfort, and efficient process. Finally, generating the visualization of non-physical systems, such as social preferences, sometimes still challenges because represent agents' behaviors as memory, learning, feelings are still in development, like improving with machine learning and artificial intelligence. So the thesis focus on theories too about understand the tourist hotspots, how these can analysis helps to understand tourists' behave and what tourists like or dislike. The analysis of visitors' flows can be helpful to express the spatial agglomeration and the diffusion phenomena and visitors and analysis roles, function, and interactions in the main spatial nodes. Okay, the next one. Additionally, it's important to understand the spatial conflicts in coastal areas. In this thesis, we especially analyze some documents about the Mediterranean Sea, how they are analyzing the problems of this area and how to understand the carrying capacity, because this data will be important for the simulations making later. So the case study was focused in the Slovenian coastal zone, in a specific the area of the Cooper and Isola. Nowadays, all the coastline is making different projects in the municipality, new infrastructure, because the pressure that they are having about the tourist flow is increasing. So they are not so sure exactly the specific data that visitors are using this space. So it is important to understand all these resources that we can create for the improving of the conservation of natural areas, how become a tourist destination with the section of tourist offers, and create different recreation sites, preparing additional beaches and bathing areas without the physical barriers. That is the main goals of the municipality now. The next one. So first I make a site visit of the place in order to understand which kind of resources we can have in order to understand the flows, how people are using the different spaces in the coastline, which are the infrastructure more used for the tourists. And next one. Sorry. This is another picture about how we can use different apps in order to understand the flows. And it's important in this pitch that the flows are always determined by the pedestrians, by the bicycles, cyclists too, and the skaters. So this difference between the pedestrians is so important.
Voilà, bah, tu vois, tous les vintage, tu les mets là comme ça après.
Additionally, the municipality are using now some kind of sensors in order to count, for example, the cyclists crossing between Cooper and Isola, and have more specific data about the flows in this area.
Là. Ouais. Et là.
So for this we use the analogic software, because this software allows to combine with geographical information system models. At the same time, download shapes from OpenStreetMap data that is normally updated every day. So these map resources allow for adding point routes and regions. and combine pedestrian library dynamics and road traffic library dynamics. So the first simulations represent the scenario 1 that is called Cooper visitor flows. Here we are using the resource of GIS, classifying the visitor flows in different workflows for pedestrians, for cyclists, and for skaters. Here is some videos, I think it's not. Can you play? Maybe it's working.
Sorry, Gabriela, the video sent a PDF. I cannot play the video.
Oh yeah, you are using Illustrator. Okay, it's okay. I wanted to show some videos, but we can see with the pictures too. So these are some of the resources that we can obtain from the simulations, the different workflows, the different data like pedestrian utilization places, pedestrian histogram, the cyclists and skaters utilization places, and different histograms is the different resource. So it's giving us detailed data about how the space is used by the different pedestrians, by the different people they're using in the vacations. And we can establish, next please, with the program a specific information that a specific date, the hour that we want to represent for the area and make this different representation. This is the scenario 2 in the Isola Beach and pedestrians. This is in the area of the Isola. So we established different points using an orthophoto from the data of the municipality, and it's possible to establish specific which areas are the hotspots in the summertime, for example, and establish these different simulations. The software is letting us to analyze the traffic, the intensity. Next one. And give us this resource about compare, for example, how can be the space used in the summertime or in the springtime. Like we can see the density of it's different. So this is really useful resources in order to establish results about the spatial planning in this area, and maybe for the summer establish more areas for the people that they can use and establish which are the specific hotspots that they are using. Okay, next one, please. Additionally, we can establish parking lots analysis too using the GIS resource and establish these workflows. So the software is allowing us to locate where are the parking lots in the specific location, and we can establish the capacity per each parking lots and establish so the utilization statistic about these different places in the parking lots too. Next one, please. So this is a comparative scenario of parking lots on weekend days and on parking lots on weekdays, and all the statistics that we can obtain in establishing a specific data and time. Next one, please. And at the same time, it's possible to make simulations in micro scale behavior. In this case, a specific parking lot to understand how it's using and how is the level of occupation in this case. Next one, please. And this is the last simulation that is combining all the resources that the software is letting us to combine the orthophoto, the shapes from OpenStreetMap, additionally using the pedestrian library and the traffic and the road traffic library in just one simulation together. So it's possible here to understand the areas of the beaches, how people are using, additionally the parking lots, and the movement of the cyclists in the area, to having different workflows, different results, and establishing the schedule between weekends, weekdays. So this is so useful because all this data, it's possible to understand in dynamic way how the space is used at the visitor flows and establish decisions for the future urban planning scenarios. The next one, please. This is more in detail, for example, result simulation in summer season at 3 p.m. exactly. And this the second one is a simulation result in summer season at 11 p.m. For example, how is different of the occupation of the area in summer. And we can obtain pedestrian traffic, cyclist traffic, and the different statistics from the workflows. Next one, please. So the conclusion is the urban digital twin is a digital tool that allows the development of an accurate analysis and visualization of urban dynamics, and give us the result the possibility to understand actual and future urban scenarios to avoid future problems between the different urban systems. In this research, the simulations developed allow combining the dynamic properties of different visitor flows into some specific zones of the coast area of Slovenia. Measuring visitor flows helps assess how many people have used the space in a specific time, also visualize trends and make future predictions. Additionally, the simulation of agents into the GIS environment gives a meaningful exploration of simulations in real-time urban scenarios and confirms the advantage of using GIS in combination with the different libraries for the agents-based modeling in L logic. So finally, it is necessary to consider that the use of these resources are just one digital twins is important for developing smart and sustainable spatial planning projects with accurate and actualized data especially. So new interventions in urban space must be carefully planned and justified with the specific data resources because they will influence the future situation of the coast of Slovenia and in general for spatial planning in cities.